Alrighty, vendor trash has been sold, but before I picked something up, I realized I wanted to show something off to you guys. So mostly we've been swapping our weapons by just clicking on them right here. But right now we have a mace and shield combo we want to be able to use. And normally that would take 2 clicks like this, but DDO has this cool thing called weapon sets, which is basically if I put a mace here and shield here, I can then drag that weapon set directly onto my hotbars. So then I can swap between this, and then this, and this. I think WoW has something similar to this as well, but I like it. It's cool because you can like change between like maces and shields and whatever it is you happen to need. Also, we have a bunch of unspent action points because we're about to hit level 3. So let's continue. I'm going to continue specializing in being an axe guy. So weapon group, axes, +1 to hit and damage with axes. Sounds cool. I have an extra action point we can spend. We can spend it on another action boost. Action surge increase our ability scores. Increase our range of unconsciousness. Increase one of our skills. Or we can start on the Stalwart Defender tree, which is about being a tanky motherfucker. Sure, let's do that. This will give us 3% fortification. Fortifications basically is your chance to negate crits, which is super handy for high level. Not so much for right now, because if we get crit, we're probably just going to die. Hello, we spoke to Hayton. He'll help us. And she gives us magic weapons, either a magic cloak or a rune arm, which is an artificer thing. So do we want a magic item that shields us, magic item that cures us, or a magic item that prevents fall damage? I'll take the prevent fall damage, thank you very much.
Your finding Hayton transformed the village. It seems as if all of Korthos were holding out for news of your next great victory with bated breath.
Wonderful, so let's put on our new cape. So again, it does nothing, but when it has that 1 next to it, that means if we activate it, it will allow us to featherfall. So I'm going to put that on the hotbar right there, so tab. So if I press tab, featherfall. This is basically a way that like non-spellcasters can cast spells. You get like items that cast the spells for you. Hello there. So we can either grab search and disable device, +1 to hit, competence, or blessed goggles, which give us +1 to hit, and so +1 to hit for 5 minutes, which goes up later, or +1 to hit all the time. I'll take the +1 to hit all the time, personally, because I'm mostly solo right now. Equip our new goggles, and then let's turn in this quest to the mayor over here. Hello. Got you your Orisa. Ooh, there's a lot of things here. And these are part of the item sets they offer, I'm pretty sure. So we got Anger's Step. So boots of running fast, and +3 to jump, and part of a set that gives us +2 to hit. This is sneak attacking, tumbling, and run speed. This is tumble, striding, and +2 to hit. This is DR1 and intimidate. And the bonus is we get light fortification +1 to AC. That one's pretty high on the list now. Arcane goggles, nah, that's not us. Spell points, no. Healing, no. Troubleshooters, yeah, I think we can go for the protectors. So these gloves will replace our useless gloves of light and alignment. It'll give us intimidate bonus, which we use. Reduce all physical damage by 1. If we can get the other set, we'll get the set bonus. Cool, so equip those gloves, and we good to go. We got 12 healing potions, which should be enough. We still have our cleric, funny enough. They are, what's it called? When you buy hirelings, they last about an hour after you've activated, but this is hour in-game, so they're paused when you're logged out or in time. And so I think we can move on to the Misery's Peak, which might take more than 1 episode, depending on how badass I feel while speedrunning. Hello. Hello, Ingram. Master Hayton, you said you made ready this crippling blow against the Sahuagin. What's the plan? My brother Amalgam will relay you to Hayton. Travel southeast until you reach the opposite camp. There's an adventurer's camp near the base of the Misery's Peak. Malcolm's waiting for you there. Wonderful. Speed boots away. And with our new shield out, we're at 25 armor class, which is pretty good. So you'll see if I hover over it, it says a 69 nice percent chance to not be hit, which is pretty darn good. Fortunately, shield means our cool two-handed fighting feat is not active. I pull that out, we get our two-handed fighting thing. And we're not stuck as a two-handed fighter, but we do have those enhancements which boost two-handed fighting and two-handed axes. So I'm going to try to stick to two-handed axes. Don't have to, mind you. Like there are ways to reset feats in this game. There's what's it called? Resetting enhancements is super easy. Resetting feats can be done. It just requires a specific item. For the most part, it is a relatively painless procedure. There are ways to respec in this game. You don't want to be stuck in a particular rut. So I'm mostly going to be sticking to two-handed axes. Not exclusively, though.
You come across a makeshift camp. A scraggly dwarf sits on a log, trying in vain to keep warm.
Not exclusively, though, because having, like, a bludgeoning weapon in case of skeletons is always handy. Hello, you ready to meet him across Misery's Peak? Sounds cool. Let's... I realize we're, like, one Slayer off from getting the experience points there, so before we head in there, we kill, like, one thing. We'd slay one thing and we hit that to 50. That'll fix my ADD here. Alright. Single monster. Sahuagin, I need you. Thanks. 225 experience. That was not worth. That was mostly to fix my ADD.
Followers of the Devour make sacrifices to their evil god of this.
Now we're at 52, but whatever. I just wanted that 50. Alrighty. Sahuagin warrior. Smack, smack, smack. And if you're not playing a fighter, you probably won't need to be as brazen as I am with, like, running every single quest on hard. Especially if you're playing, like... There are some classes that are really bad at soloing, like wizards or, hell, especially, like, rogues. Like, an advanced player can definitely solo with a rogue, but rogues, there's certain classes like rogues, wizards, bards especially, really shine as, like, a party. Or, like, if you're, like, clerics can solo, but if you're making your cleric to be, like, a heal bot, you're probably not going to be good at soloing. But, like, fighters, barbarians, all the melee classes, like paladins, great at soloing. You pull out an axe and you start swinging.
The mouth of Misery's Peak.
And we'll jump in on hard. Oh, and that... Yeah, well, unfortunately, when you walk into a dungeon, it does dispel all of your magical effects. You can't have, like, a super high-level player buff you to high health and run in.
You're here. Come. There isn't much time.
1 second. Just need to call my cleric. BRB need healing. Also, didn't want to jump in that dungeon at low health, but we should be fine. Should be fine. Hey, I remember you guys from the tutorial. Hey, Lars. You made it. I believe you are acquainted with my associates. They will be the right hand that draws the enemy out. You will be the left hand that inserts the dagger into the Mind Flayer's pack. Metaphorically speaking, of course. What? Listen, without the dragon and the cult, the Sahuagin are no more dangerous than they could ever have been, and time will be able to drive them back into the sea. But as long as that dragon remains, Korthos is doomed. Our hope is that we now know its true story. Just like the cultist villagers, the dragon is not helping the Sahuagin of its own free will. It is being controlled by a Mind Flayer. How is that possible? I thought dragons were immune to that. That is the key, my friend. The Mind Flayer is using a powerful kunai artifact to magnify its power, something called a Mind Sunder. If we destroy that Mind Sunder, the dragon will be released from its control. Then, perhaps Korthos will have a chance. So, you want me to break a big crystal? Yes, Selimus and her group will cause as much ruckus as they can, hopefully drawing the majority of the enemy forces. Meanwhile, You will find the Kunari Mine Sunder and shatter it. Alright, I understand the plan. Break the crystal.
Selimus, ready your party. I'll weaken the barrier for you.
Ready! Charge!
Good. Now clear your path.
Off to Baker
Hayton
Crystal.
clears the passageway for you. Now to find this Quarry Mine Sunder artifact.
Ooh. Zombie. 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 Should have him flame an axe out. That all-important +1 fire damage. They're both slashing weapons, so they're both equally effective against zombies. Lots of zombies. Get sundered. Swing, swing, swing. Holding down left click is fun. There's a game that has a lot of strategy in, like, building. There's not a whole lot of strategy that comes in, like, playing. Okay, that's not true. There is strategy in coming and playing. It's mostly a high-level thing, though. And, alright, I'm gonna rest here. I don't really need the health from resting, but I'm resting because I want to recharge my magic items here, because these are use per day, which means per rest. So if I do this, my cape and my boots are back. And I'm at full health. For the restaurants, generally, you can only...
humanoid figures surround a glowing place. Their putrid forms are frozen in contorted poses. Their faces set in silent, eternal screams.
I'll be able to pick up those potions, thankfully. What was I about to say? Yeah, so, restaurants. I can use them every, like, 5 minutes on the casual difficulty. It's every 15 minutes if you're playing by yourself on normal. Otherwise, restaurants are generally a one-and-done deal. So if you can use them once, and then if you want to use it again, you have to find another one. This means you just can't camp the same restaurant over and over again. This is fine, usually. Sometimes you'll see advanced players, they will, like, save a restaurant, so they'll, like, walk past the restaurant without using it.
The heavy door is locked by a pair of signal crystals. Hopefully the control mechanisms are in this cabin somewhere.
You'll see an advanced player, like, walk past a restaurant without using it. That's intentional, so they can, like, double back and use it when they actually need to use it. Hello, hello! Or, like, right before a boss fight where you need all your stuff back. Because all these abilities, let's say per day, it means per restaurant. So we can use our defense boost, like, 5 times per rest. We haven't really had a need to use that so far. Maybe just because we're that awesome playing a fighter. Hell yeah. Swing, 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 swing. And we're also almost to level 3. We'll be at level 3 at 16,000. We're at almost 14,000. And we'll get 3,000 for doing this, so we don't get any other bonuses. So hopefully we'll be at level 3 at the end of this. That would be awesome. Those buttons just open doors, basically. And I'll show you what doors they open once we get to that point. No, maybe I should probably be using my boots right now. Fast! Ain't nothing stopping me from fighting while fast. At higher levels, you'll have boots that have, like, striding on it, which is, like, a permanent boost to run speed, and it's, like, super awesome. So I can, like, run around in circles around these zombies. Swing, 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 Sunder swing. Ooh, ooh. Silver piece, Eagle Splendor. Open the thing. Gotta grab the 78 copper pieces. Always know that's always gonna come in handy. Ooh, I heard sound. Get sundered. This is a lever. That's the first one. Now let's go and find the second one. And bootleg cut go.